I love capturing
Mm-hmm.
the performers and the performances, and sometimes the process. I remember the very poorly made film of Tranny Shack.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it wasn't that it was poorly made; it was just kind of rough.
Right, right.
But it's brilliant. And now, of course, Peaches doing her stuff. All About Evil is just, it's really professional.
I was actually in that.
Were you really?
I'm an extra,
Tell
yeah.
us.
Quite prominent, not like a featured extra.
Uh-huh.
That was an awesome experience. I 6 months before they started shooting, I ran into Joshua. It was actually John Waters was giving a speech at the Castro Theater, and we were in like the VIP room, whatever. We got to meet and greet, and got to talking to Joshua. And I knew he was working on something. I didn't know what it was. And he said, yes, in like 6 months we're going to start shooting. I go, I want to be an extra. He goes, fine. We'll have like we'll have a call out for it. You'll find out about it. So waiting and waiting. So finally, about a month before, I got the dates were set for the extras, and I had kind of a window at work where I could take some time off. So I literally took time off work, vacation time, so that I could be there as much as I could to support the film any way I could, even if I was left on the cutting room floor. So they filed all the extras in. We were in a big audience scene, and I'm coming down, and the assistant director is kind of telling people where to sit. And I was like one of the first people in there. And he says, you sit over there. And I see there's 4 seats. And one says Peaches on it, one says Martini, one says Putneska, one says Heklina. He goes, sit next to Heklina. And I was like, wow, I think I'm going to be in this thing. So,
that's great.
And you definitely could see me in it. And the whole movie experience, being part of that was amazing. There's been a few times in my life where I've kind of volunteered to be involved with something. And during the process, there's a consensus amongst everyone there that this is going to be amazing. Something awesome is happening here.
Yeah.
And it just fills you with so much excitement. You could live off of it. It's amazing.
Interesting. You got to sit with 4 people who are exciting and who are doing a creative. Tranny Shack, Heklina, and many other things.
Right.
Peaches Christ, good Midnight Mass, and All About Evil, and a new movie coming out.
Right.
Putneska, Glam Gender, Martini. Tell me.
She's the most flawed drag queen in San Francisco, and that is a title that no one could ever take away from her.
The most
She's
flawed drag queen in San Francisco, and I bet Peaches would go, here, you're right.
She might agree with me, maybe a little bit. Martini's actually pretty awesome.
Yeah, no, absolutely, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I loved that film. In fact, we're going the 21st.
Yeah, next in about a week.
Next Monday or something. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll be there as well.
Yeah.
I'm really excited for it.
Yeah, I just I love Peaches, but and I love that film. But that's the energy.
Yeah.
That we're talking about. You've got it, and it has a pretty rapidly growing audience, I think.
Right.
And it cutting across all lines.
Mm-hmm. Well, I used to tell my friends about 10 years ago, I feel that in the future, the next decade, like this past decade, everyone was like a DJ. Everyone had a DJ name, and I think everyone's going to start to develop these like other alternative characters or whatever for themselves that they might, even if they don't perform, they might just want to be a personality or something. I think that I kind of see that as a direction that it might become like a fad to do something like that, or people might take it.
Well, is it Juanita Moore who kind of does the DJing as well as?
Yeah, she does everything. She
I know, she's
promotes
pretty much
parties
an
and
amazing.
DJs, and she does incredible fundraising.
Yeah.
She's my neighbor. She lives down the block from me, and she's a wonderful person.
I was at the Glam Gender book signing, and she was dressed as a man, and just her regular stuff.
Yeah.
I had no idea that it was, and I felt so embarrassed, because she kept saying, Stu. But I think a really talented, focused person, this is, I think, the most exciting city in the world for the performance art scene. I know it's happening everywhere else, but I don't think it's quite as loose and unstructured as it is here.
I would agree. I think here it's more accessible because of San Francisco's size and it doesn't have the population of New York or LA. Everything is accessible. Politics, food, everything is very accessible, and people are easy to get a hold of for the most part. Being able to find your way into something doesn't take as much, I think, as you would in a big city like New York or LA.
Well, if you've got talent, I mean, I think you're going to probably, if you find a show and you got any talent, you'll probably be able to get into it.
Right.
That's my experience. But
And there seems to be a place for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone that I know that enjoys it, whether they do a lot of performance or they're just there to be a fan or they like to hang out backstage or whatever it is. Like, there's a place for everyone. My favorite thing is to watch someone who kind of shows up literally off an airplane from another city, and then one day they're, you know, on a tranny shack stage or whatever, and they have fans, and to see that person develop and grow, like, it's really exciting.
It is.
It's really
It
cool.
truly is.
Yeah, it makes you. I guess it's our version of Hollywood, but maybe not.
Yeah, I think
Maybe not as self-destructive. Well, maybe not in some ways.
Maybe sometimes, maybe not all the time. I don't know. We're human, you know, and we know how to party, and you know, you just don't get out of the party sometimes.
Right.
So, what would you like to do? What's your kind of a vision you have for yourself in the future?
You know, I think about that sometimes. I try not to put so much pressure on myself, because then it kind of defeats the purpose of what I do. I don't need to get paid to perform. It's nice when I do. You know, it's a bonus. I really do enjoy it. I think going forward, I really want to continue, you know, doing more performances. I have a duet coming up in 2 weeks. It's another Opaltine. I don't know if you're familiar with Opaltine.
No, but tell us about it.
I don't want to give too much away about the number, but
tell us where, when.
That's just how it is. You know, I'll get a phone call or an email. Oh, do you want to be in this number? Or do you want to do this? Or do you want to be in my show? Or do you have a number to do for my show? And it's either I look at my calendar. Oh yeah, I can do that. That's cool. I don't have anything booked that night, and so I'll just kind of pick stuff up. I don't really plan a lot of these things. I always have like ideas in my head. Like I'll hear a song, whether it's an old song or a new song, and I might get an idea for it, and I might want to pull one of those jokes from my past to kind of hook into it to make it work a little bit better. And so I always have things running, but then someone will say like, oh, it's a theme night, you know, do you want to do it? And I'll be like, theme, okay, and it'll be like, you know, whatever it is, and I'll be like, okay, what can I do for that? And it might be a song that I never considered before, and somehow I'll just make it work. So that's a nice challenge, to be able to do something like that.
Yeah.
And it's also nice to help someone out when they need me.